generous 10% to 20% discount on all school items like textbooks, pens, pencils, erasers, exercise books, and a lot more across all the branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takrade, Winneba, and Cape Coast. Yeah, parents, teachers, and students, hurry while stocks last. For more information, you can call us on 0506 487 557 or 0302 764 209. Or you can email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply. I mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about Baraka Policy Institute, get to know a bit more about BPI here on Joy 99.7 FM. And guess what? This afternoon, I've been joined by the Head of Research and Programs, Dr. Adam Yunus, and he's here to tell us a bit about BPI. Hello, Doc, how are you?
I'm fine.
So good to see you, and thank you so much for coming over to the studio today. I'm excited. We get to talk about Baraka Policy Institute.
Sure.
For the uninitiated. Share with us a bit about the school, what it stands for, the vision, mission, everything. Tell us.
All right. Thank you very much. So I'm also grateful to be here. First time being at your studio.
Oh, we're happy you're here. We're happy you paid us a visit
I
today.
listen to you every day.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
It's a great honor for me. Anyway, so Baraka Policy Institute is a social policy think tank established in 2014. And I think the main concern has to do with promotion of social justice and equitable development. You know, we are concerned about what is called the voice of social conscience. You know, we believe that equity and social justice are key targets when it comes to developmental issues, and they are targets that every nation in its development effort should try hard and make efforts to achieve them, to ensure that there is equity in distribution of resources. You know, so what the founders of this noble think tank sought to do was to see how they can influence the policy space, especially or particularly at the national level. You know, sometimes NGOs do a lot to help develop communities, but we believe that you can help bridge the gap between the less endowed and the well endowed when you're able to influence the policy space at the national level. So this think tank seeks to promote equitable national development, promote social justice, and basically to see to the welfare of the underprivileged in society, or people will normally describe as those found in the margin of society. So that is what the BPI actually stands for, and that's what we've been doing with all our activities 10 years now. Yeah,
I mean, it was set up in 2014, right?
Yes, please.
So what are some of the core activities that you've undertaken in the period?
All right. So what we seek to do, or how we seek to achieve our objectives of this mission, is through research, advocacy, and sometimes capacity building for the underprivileged. You know, so basically in the area of education, we believe that education was one key important area that if you want to change the life of people, if you want to move people from their social status, especially those found in the margin of society, to a high level, you need to walk them through proper education. So a lot of our activities has been in the area of education. Even once in a while, we actually go into general well-being, particularly in the area of health. So we conduct research in educational matters. We've done research that seeks to influence government policies on less endowed admissions, admissions of people who are basically in impoverished communities, how they can also move to higher educational, level with the kind of access that they have. So issues of access, quality, and for that matter, relevance and equity as far as educational issues in Ghana are concerned. So we do a lot of research, and we also see that certain policies are not or will not favor the underprivileged. We conduct research and give evidence to government and say that, look, we think that this thing needs to be done or this thing should not be done. And then we also do advocacy. Normally, when you do research, you have to follow it up with advocacy. One of the core things we did previous years, last year and last year, has to do with the influence of sport betting on school children. And when we did that with our research, we went to the Ministry of Education. So, look, we have found how school children are engaged in sport betting. We think this is not good, especially for poor children who are disadvantaged. And for that matter, these things could be at the peril of their lives, So you do that and you mount huge advocacy on government for government to listen to you and change policies that will go in favor of the less privileged that we try to speak for.
Have we seen some positive outcomes within the period? I mean, what would you say are some of the landmark achievements of BPI since it was established?
Sometimes it's challenging influence government policies.
I can imagine,
But I think it's okay. At least we've done two things that we think that it's a milestone for us. One has to do with this same sport betting you're talking about. If you recall, last year, your station was at our annual lectures. And then last 2 years, the Minister of Education came to speak at our annual lecture on sport betting. We did our research on sport betting in the last 3 years and came out with evidence that, look, there are so many violations on the laws on sport betting, especially when it comes to advertisement closer to schools and school children engaged in sport betting. And so the minister came last 2 years. Last year he came. And some of the findings in our research, which we give recommendations to the ministry to talk to the Gaming Commission to see how some of these violations can be, redressed. So we talk about betting centers located closer to schools. And we have seen that a lot of these centers have been closed down. We have examples at Medina Estate, so many places where evidence of sport betting centers that were hitherto sited closer to schools have been removed. So for us, for the government to have listened to us, for us is a plus. And then we also influence government policies in an area of general well-being. We actually supported the Ministry of Health, actually partnered to come out with what is called the National Alcohol Policy. That's sought to see how alcohol can be controlled in Ghana. There are so many laws that sometimes the space there are a lot of violations. So as a think tank, we look at the negatives and then call on government, say that look, address these things, because for the benefit of society. So once a while, just that sometimes we get frustrated with some of the things that we think government could have done better. So
I mean, that's really impressive. I mean, I know about the annual public lectures, and initially I thought it was just probably to, throw light on some of these issues that you speak about, but obviously it goes beyond that. I mean, it helps in formulating policy and all. Is that another rationale why you decided to put together the annual lectures, the public lectures?
So we were looking for a space, a policy space, where key stakeholders in the educational community, can meet to discuss issues, of pertinent importance to Ghanaians, especially on issues of education. So what the annual lecture seeks to do is to bring key policy stakeholders, so state actors, that obviously include political actors, civil servants, civil society, think tanks, people in the education space, to meet and then have discussions around key educational matters, that affect particularly the underprivileged in society. So every year we bring these actors together to discuss issues on a particular theme chosen for that year. So the example I gave last year, for example, so we brought all these key stakeholders to discuss issues of how sport betting is affecting education of young people. And at the end of the day, we ensure that we do follow up to ensure that whatever that was agreed or discussed or issues that came up during the lectures are actually followed up through. So it's a forum that brings stakeholders that we, in our view, are very important as far as taking decisions on educational matters in the country are concerned. And when these issues are discussed, sometimes the media helps us to broadcast all these things up, and then we are able to create that advocacy and make that advocacy that we want the Ghanaian public to know about what is happening. So it's a very important forum that, like I mentioned, the Minister of Education, Directors of Education, GES, all agencies and the educational ministry all meet there to discuss issues as far as education is concerned.
Tell me about this year's annual lecture. It's just around the corner, isn't it?
Yes, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Yes. There you go. And what's the theme for this year and who's speaking?
So this year, what we decided to do is look at all the research we have done as a think tank, put them together, and so we have crystallized it as reflections on the state of education in Ghana, diagnosis and the way forward. And that is the theme we have chosen because in the 10 years of our research in education in Ghana, we have found a lot, we've seen a lot, and we want to showcase this to the public. And then after that, we'll have brought people who matter as far as education decision issues making is concerned in Ghana. So the Minister of Education, we have the Deputy Ranking Member of Education, committee in Parliament, Honorable Dr. Clement Apak, and then we have TVED experts in the name of in the person of Professor Afeti Mauku, who is currently the president of the Evangelical University College, the council. So these are experts and policy makers as to form a panel to discuss issues that will come up from the presentations we will make as BPI to judge on what we see to be problems as far as education in Ghana is concerned, and then they as policymakers should tell us how to address these problems.
Right,
okay.
right.
Yes.
And where's it happening?
It's happening at the British Council tomorrow, 1 p.m.
Okay.
And fortunately, we have a partnership with your station. Joy News will cover it live from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the general public is invited. It's open.
It's open to the public.
It's open to the public.
That's great. I mean, I'm excited about this. I'm glad you actually came to tell us about it, and I'm sure a lot of people will want to come by and also tune in and listen in to the BPI public lecture tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah? I'm grateful you came by. Thank you. Any final words before we wrap up?
Well, we want to encourage the public. It's open to the public, and those who will not be able to come to the British Council should just stay glued to Joy News and watch everything live as they listen to people that would think can influence our education policy space, and make sure that we give quality, equitable, and then improving accessible education to every Ghanaian, particularly those who are found in the margin of our society, i.e. the less privileged.
Dr. Adam Yunus, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm grateful that you came by. Yeah, Dr. Adam Yunus is the head of research and programs at the Baraka Policy Institute, and the public lecture is happening tomorrow. Make sure you're there, or you can actually tune in to Join News and check it out live. Stay tuned in. This is Drive Time.